than them. You gonna let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. Now the return will stop right around the 25. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Throwing is Wentz. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
A handoff to Mixon. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wentz. And his pass incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. McKinnon. Oh, now he bowls him over. Oh, he sheds himself free. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
And, yep, as a result, knocks it down.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw. A dump down to McKinnon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Toss play to McKinnon. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now McKinnon. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run for it, they can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Cardinals on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's McKinnon. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They run it with McKinnon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Anunwa, the intended target. He has been interception prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is, you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. He'll drop to throw. Screen play, McKinnon. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And that is incomplete.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. And they'll run it here. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up a throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his legs.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. The toss play to Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Here's a give to Mixon. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Johnny Townsend to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. Fighting his way through contact. Yeah, they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct, and what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now. But later, when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Here we go. Waiting. Listen.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go.
Now Joe Mixon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5, as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. The kick by Carlson is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to go deep for Funchess. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with Mixon. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And some room to roam now. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Right back to him on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time. That'll bring up second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Johnny Holton, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And give him a gain of 37.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And this one complete right side to Funchess. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A handoff, running left, Mixon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Go, go. 180!
Shotgun now for Wentz. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 22. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Looking to throw. A quick hitter complete. It's Jones. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change? In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. David Bass coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Working from the gun, Wentz. He gets it to Sims, complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. Now Wentz on 3rd down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Joey Bosa in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And take it right on the 30. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock. At the 2-minute warning. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Back to throw here. And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Time for a break. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Arizona. We're back to finish this one off after this. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Lion.
On 1st down, Wentz. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. I have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Here again is McKinnon, and they'll get him down right about the 20. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a midfield. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.